Hi, my name's Leo and I'm a boat builder and a sailor, and I'm on a mission to sail this boat, Tally-Ho, back to the UK to compete once again in the Fastnet race which she won in 1927. We've got a lot of work to do and a lot of miles to cover before then, and in this episode we're going to be riveting and leathering and installing our new Gaff Saddle. We're going to be driving a classic Jag, anchoring through a storm, visiting some beautiful islands, and finally actually trying out the new Gaff Saddle under sail. Right now, Patrick and Bob and Marit are all on board, and they, as well as other crew from the rebuild and other friends from around the world, will be coming and going as crew on Tally-Ho throughout this long journey towards the other side of the world. So a while ago I mentioned that we had an issue with our Gaff Saddle over the summer, and that's the metal part that sits at the front of the gaff. It's covered in leather and it sits up against the mast, and it slides up and down the mast and rotates with the gaff. And the problem we were having is that in stronger winds, running downwind especially, it would work its way off the mast, and I think that's caused by various different things in the rig. We tried a few things to help it, and I think those things did help a little bit, but we want to try a longer, larger saddle that wraps further around the mast and hopefully therefore shouldn't come off of it so easily. So I did some drawings for the new design, and I've been working with a guy called Jake Rosenfield who has helped us out with a few things, really awesome metalworker and really fast at getting stuff done when we need it, which is really appreciated. He also has a YouTube channel which you should check out. And so in here hopefully is our new Gaff Saddle. So I'm going to open it up and have a look. Wow, that's a beast. So this thing looks awesome, and it's beautifully made by Jake and looks just like I drew it. As you can see, it's made of stainless steel, not bronze like the one we've got, but it's going to be all completely covered in leather, so you won't see it. And the reason we made it out of stainless is it just made it a lot quicker and easier to fabricate in this case. So we'll see, at some point in the future we could choose to make one out of bronze if it works, but it's beautifully made and it's going to get riveted to the front of the gaff, and I'm really hopeful that this will at least help and potentially solve the problem we're having.
It really is a saddle.
Oh, it's a corset.
Am I the mast? Yes, I am.
Wow.
Just make a swing out of it instead.
Alright, moment of truth. Pretty good. Bearing in mind there's going to be a layer of thick leather and probably another one on the mast itself. It's perfect. Thanks, Jake.
We need to replace part of the existing Gaff Saddle with this.
But the first step is to pattern for a piece of leather that's going to cover this, right? So here we have the old Gaff Saddle, and it's a beautiful piece of bronze work. It's made up of two pieces: the saddle itself, which is fairly thin, and then the bracket which attaches the saddle to the rest of the gaff. And these two parts were riveted together, so we took the leather off and we drilled the rivets out, and we're going to rivet this bracket to the new saddle. To do that, I'd really like to have the use of an oxyacetylene torch to heat the bronze rivets up because we don't have copper rivets. And it just so happens that the other day I was down at the auto parts store and I ran into a guy who follows the channel, and he happens to have a really cool workshop where he rebuilds and restores vintage British cars. So we're going to go down there. He said we could use this oxyacetylene torch. We're going to try and get this riveted up, and we're going to have a little look at some of his projects.
Hello everybody, I'm Richard Owen. This is my dad, Michael Owen. We restore and maintain vintage British cars, and I also do a little bit of automotive journalism on YouTube. We run a small repair shop here in Sydney, BC, Canada, really servicing a lot of marques, MGB, Mini, Austin Healey, and I've really focused in recent years on the Jaguar EType.
That's right, yeah. We try our best to kind of keep them alive and keep them going, and Richard's really doing beautiful work on the E-types. That's what he does.
The world's such a wonderful and crazy place. I found we discovered Leo just 2 doors down buying hardware at at the Napa Auto Parts.
Well,
Yeah.
Rewind back to when we first saw Tally Ho. That was such a thing to find you on the YouTube.
Oh yeah, in the YouTube, yeah.
As soon as we watched the first episode, we were hooked on it.
It's so great to have a piece of Tally Ho here in the shop. That's so awesome. Thanks so much.
Well, thank you guys.
Oh yeah, well,
So we've got some carriage bolts which we're going to turn into rivets. So these are going to go through from this side. Do you feel like nipping this off for us?
Yeah, no worries.
Just right in the middle of that Sharpie line.
Okay, good.
So who wants to be the dolly guy?
I can be the bucking guy.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So I made this corner just a little bit rounded, which I think will work best. So just kind of leaning into there.
Oh, this is a lot of responsibility. It's fun. Because all my work is so fussy and thin.
All right, coming in. Let's give it a little more heat from this side. All right, let's go.
Yep.
We don't usually rivet, Leo. This is a first for us, really.
Oh yeah. There we go, yeah.
That was great. I could see the rivet actually suck down.
Yeah.
That was perfect.
That's
It's good setting. Okay, so this E-Type behind me is from 1962. It's a really important car for me in my life because it's been in Victoria since, I believe, 1963. And here we are reviving it, putting our heart and soul into it, and really making it the best E-Type it can be. For a Jaguar. Wow. So that's from 1952. It's a beautiful thing, all aluminum up here, all bare aluminum, cast iron block and aluminum tongue cover and sump. Well, it's, I love it.
Right. That's it.
That's it, last rivet. Woohoo!
Done it.
Well done, good job.
Wow, great work on that dolly. Both of you guys.
That's awesome.
That went pretty smoothly. Richard, you were just telling me about your own E-Type, which is a little bit different. It's parked outside. Can you tell me again on camera, what's the story with that car?
Yeah, it's my own personal car. I call it the Junk E-Type because I did a series on YouTube called the Junk E-Type Engine, which I rebuilt over kind of 15 episodes, and everybody saw me take it apart and put it back together. And then I bought the shell off my dad, actually, put the whole thing together, and it's a really kind of important car in my life, if not the most important car in my life. And you're such an awesome person. I'm going to extend the invitation to take it for a drive. What do you think?
Are you sure? Yeah. I would love to. Wow, what a honor. Thank you. I'll try not to dent it. All right, let's go.
So there it is, 1967, England's best. The speedometer isn't accurate because I changed the rear end ratio.
Okay.
There you are.
Nice.
So this is a bog standard E-Type. The only thing that's been changed is the exhaust and the brakes. So everything is completely like original as designed when engineers first made this car.
Wow.
And you'll get to see what they were building here. I'm so blown away by this car. The performance, the way it looks, the way it sounds. And so I'm excited to see what you think.
Amazing. I'm very excited.
The only piece of wood in here is the steering wheel.
That's the bit I'm going to be holding.
Yeah.
So. Thanks, dude. My God, this is so fun. Richard, that was amazing. It was so fun to drive your really special Jag.
Yeah, so it's a really authentic experience. What you're driving there even was the original clutch and pressure plates. So yeah, it's exactly as it was really in 1967.
Yeah, it was really fun to drive. So much like raw power and the style and the ergonomics. Well, thank you guys so much for helping us out with the Gaff Saddle. It was really, really useful, but also it's just so special to get a little glimpse of the work you guys do and get to experience that car. So it's been a real pleasure and an honor.
Likewise, thanks for coming.
Great.
Cheers.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah.
Thank you. So we're just about to leave the marina that we've been staying at in North Saanich near Sydney, and currently, as I speak, we're just moving the boat by hand, walking it forwards so we can then spring out of this quite narrow entrance here. So we're going to be away for a little while and do some winter cruising, hopefully, and enjoy the boat. So Marit and I had a nice few days cruising in the Gulf Islands, and then yesterday we picked up Patrick again. And then last night we had a storm come through, and so we were anchored in a little place called Winter Cove, which is very shallow, very protected, very sheltered, so ideal place to anchor through a storm. And it was good to do that because I wanted to experience what it was like to do that on Tally Ho, and wanted to check out how all the anchor gear worked in heavy winds, and it all went pretty well. Now it's mostly calmed down now, it's still a little bit gusty, but the worst of it was through the night. So when it calms down a little bit more, Patrick's going to go aloft. He's got some varnish repair work to do on the mast, because where the old Gaff Saddle was twisting off, it's damaged the finish quite a bit, and so we just need to repair that to prevent any water from getting in and causing more damage. While he's doing that, I've got some stitching to do. I've got to put the leather onto the new Gaff Saddle. So now that the new gaff saddle is riveted onto this bracket, the next step is to leather it to protect the mast underneath where this piece of metal sits. And this piece of leather has already been cut out and shaped for the job. This was Bob's work. He was up here for a few days keeping an eye on the boat while we were in Port Townsend, and he shaped this, which was no mean feat. It was pretty difficult to get this all cut out in the right shape. But it looks great, and so I'm gonna wrap it around and hopefully get it all stitched up.
No, it looks cool actually.
This thing actually doesn't look too like big and out of place here, does it? It looks pretty good.
I think it's cool.
No sheets. Wow, I'm so excited.
All right, so the new gaff saddle is in place, and I think it looks really good. I was a little worried it might look too large, but I think it actually looks just in proportion and pretty nice. So we got a nice day to test it out. We're going to hoist sail, and this will be our first sail for a while because it is the middle of winter and it's been a lot of rain, but today is beautiful, just a bit of light wind, but we're going to sail over to Ganges Harbour.
Alright, we're getting some muck here and we're tending aft.
Tending aft.
Well, we just got a little bit of sailing in before the sun went away, but it's been really nice to get the sails up. It's been a little while because of the weather and the Gaff Saddle and so on, so we're having a really nice day, and I'm really pleased to say that the Gaff Saddle seems to be working beautifully. It's really well positioned on the mast, it's not showing any signs of twisting, and I'm confident that it should solve the problem even in stronger wind conditions, although it'll be interesting to test it. So that's it for now, but thanks a lot for watching, and a massive thank you to everyone who has donated or otherwise supported this project. It does make a huge difference. It means we're able to keep on doing what we do, maintaining and using this boat and making videos about it. So I really appreciate it, and I'll see you next time. Cheers.